Hi Aries, happy March. I hope you're doing well. Okay guys, you have a lot of messages. And they align with the cards, which I'm thrilled because a few of the signs I really had to figure out how they coordinated with the cards, but you have a lot of them. I think what you're doing is and I'm an Aries too, okay? If you have something, a wish, something you want to do that you're holding close in your heart, call on your guides because they're sitting right here, and you're keeping them at a distance. You have to invite them in. Call on them more was exactly what the message was, okay? They want you to use your energy for more constructive things than worrying or anxiety or trying to solve whatever this is or push forward in whatever this is or make this change, whatever it is that you want to come about. They're telling you that you need to invite them in. They're wanting to do this for you, and they're saying that the reason that things may not seem like they're working on your timeline is because you're using your energy. Whatever this is big, okay, but you're using your energy up in worry or fear or angst or trying to get your own way. We Aries like to do that, right? Getting our own way to do this, when in fact they're telling you that the reason this is hung up is because it needs more energy behind it. You're going to need more energy behind it. So they're asking you to reserve your energy and stop the worrying. Know that this is occurring and taking place and that they're working on it for you, but you also have to invite them in because there's only so much that they can do without you saying, come in, help me, you know. You need to trust them more. Yeah, the size of this change here, again, we talked about this too in some other readings, that sometimes things are held up because we need to get ourselves in a better place so that we can sustain the change, right? And that's what this is, that's exactly what's going on here. That what feels uncomfortable, this is big, this is going to be a leap, and sometimes you need more oomph behind you, right? Like Thelma and Louise to get over that you know, hurdle there. Okay. You may get a nudge here that may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's telling you that this change is better for you. It's just going to take some adjusting. Okay, so I feel that something is in the midst of coming, and these are some of the points that they're trying to get to you so that you don't get hung up. If it feels uncomfortable, do it anyway. Okay, you're going to be directed here. You've just got to invite them in and stop cutting them off. You're limiting their ability to help you, okay? Okay, these, again, we try to make changes, right? And we try to look for them, and we make the changes within the 5 elements, right? What they're telling you is this change is outside of that, so you're not going to be able to grasp this, even if you try. And the other thing on that point is that you need to start trusting your gifts more. Listening to your intuition, accept the fact that you're not, and I've heard this my whole life, You're not normal. So don't try to act like you're normal. You're not. You have gifts and you have abilities that are not normal. You need to embrace those and accept those, okay? I think what's coming here is something that's going to be a wee bit uncomfortable. I can tell you as an Aries, I feel it too, okay? But just know that it's for your greater good, okay? And that you're protected through this. Again, I think we got that somewhere in one of the weekly readings. And when I know for a fact, it was the day I found the feather, and the day that some people were really sad. Over some losses, I think what's happening here too is you're going to need to be called upon. There are a lot of people in this card, in this reading here. I mean, there's a lot of people. I know a lot of this may be facets of yourself, right? Because I can already look at these cards and I know that there's facets of myself in here. I think these are the resources within yourself that we're going to need to call on, okay? We've got the energy coming in of the Two of Coins. Embrace change. Even though it feels comfortable, it's important to embrace this change, okay? The focal card is the Judgment card, okay? This is the calling. This is something that, this is the within your heart, I think, that you know you want this. This is a prayer. This is a desire. It's a calling, right? You're being called to do this, okay? The Emperor is you, okay? The Knight of Wands is that force, that oomph, that jump, like that Thelma and Louise over that leap thing. That's why this card is showing up in here, okay? It's an archetype you need in this, okay? The Queen of Wands, clarity, communication, crystal clear. Get clear on what you want here, okay? She doesn't get caught up in the crazy either, and I think that was one of the messages, was to use your energy for the things that help you, propel you here. Don't waste your energy on things that are of no importance to you, okay? Now the Hermit card here sits in your blind spot. That's just a card of pulling on your wisdom from the past, okay? And trusting your intuition, okay? That was with your gifts. You don't think you're trying to fit into, you know, you're trying to fit into somewhere that you don't fit in. You're, you know, you're not normal, so to speak, okay? And I can tell you from years of that. Okay. Anyhow, now the Queen of Cups, she sits here in your blessing spot. Be the kind, loving, nurturing, divinely connected person that you are, and be open to receive. Be open, okay? Keep love in your heart, all right? Don't be so matter of fact, right? This is, be receptive to receiving, okay? And the outbound card, we've got the Knight of Swords, okay? That's, again, clarity of thought, forward movement, being open to change, okay? You've got two knights in here. These are, use these as your own inner allies, right? They're your creative forces, your analytical forces, getting the game plan. Get the game plan before you leap, right? But give your guides free rein in here. Do it, okay? I think this is wonderful, okay? Your messages through this were, don't be disappointed, because certain things take longer than others because we're just not in alignment with what it would take to sustain the change, right? Who wants to go through all this to make a change only to get to the other side? And I equate this to those, you know, the scenarios where people win the lotto and it's just so out of the norm for them that it ends up being worse after that than before, right? Because they're put in a situation that they're not equipped for, and that's what's happening here, okay? But you're protected in this. You know, your prayers are being answered, even though you haven't they're saying we hear you, which means that you must have cast them in your prayers, but you're not inviting them in to do this, right? That's when we cut ourselves off in prayer. That's when we say, you know, under grace and in the right way, please help me. Please show me what I need to know. Show me where I need to go, you know, and leave it open-ended, because then they come in and they open doors for you that are outside of your 5 senses, okay? And that you need to embrace your gifts, and you need to stop trying to live the life of just someone who doesn't have these gifts, okay? Okay. I think this was wonderful. Let me just look over all of your... I think I tried to grab them all of the messages. There were a lot, though, and sometimes I can't remember them all. Stop worrying. Invite your guides in. Know that you're protected. A lot of uncertainty is going to surround us. So if there's something that you're thrown into a situation where you think you're not, I just keep seeing too, like, you know, throwing someone into water that can't swim. Your instincts kick in and you automatically start sinking. You know, you sink or swim, and you're gonna swim because you're just innately. They're trying to remind you, I think, of the gifts that you have. Something may have happened, or like I say, if you look at these, I mean, there's people all over the place. But I really think that these are archetypes of yourself, and it makes perfect sense with the messages, because they're trying to gather a bunch of different parts here to get you to be able to sustain this change. If you look at it, the Queen of Cups is loving, right? The Queen of Wands is the go-getter. The I'm not going to settle for this. We'll find a way to do it, right? She pushes through things, but yet you've got to be open here with the Queen of Cups, right? These are both queens that have hit the pavement many, many times, so they know, you know, they're book smart and street smart. That's a wonderful combination here, okay? And you've got the Knight of Wands, which is passion, fire, desire, right? And you've got the Knight of Swords. That's, you know, fast-moving, analytical. One gets the list, one's drawn by, you know, excitement, desire. That's perfect. And the Emperor in here is about strength, to push through, to go through your morals, your ethics. It's the power that you need, right? It's not being distracted in things that aren't deserving of your attention. Keep your eye on the ball here, okay? March has got a lot of crazy energy, okay? It's gonna affect sometimes more than others. I really think with your messages and all of these archetypes, now is the time that the creative juices can it's the power you need sometimes to really just push through things. And that's what I think is happening here. So embrace change. Don't fight it, because in that resistance is where you're using up your energy reserve that you need to get going where you're going here, okay? Embrace the change even though it feels uncomfortable. I think they're course correcting what you want to do here to get you to a better place, because that was one of your messages too. This change in circumstance is better for you, which means that they are trying to get you somewhere other than where you think you need to be. They're trying to show you something that's a better place for you. And that's when things get held up too, guys, is when we're trying to push single-mindedly towards this one thing that we want. And meanwhile, outside of our 5 senses is the paradise. We need help from our guides to do that. And they're saying they're helping you. You've just got to get out of the way and trust them, okay? All right. Thank you so much. I hope I helped you in some way. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to look at anything for you, okay? Use the energies of this month to your advantage. If there's something you're pushing through and you keep hitting the wall, take a step back for a minute. Invite them in and let them course correct you, okay? Because you're trying to go this way, and they're telling you that over here is really where you want to go, okay? So thank you so much. Have a lovely March.